And with that, we'll start our round of 5-minute questions. Mr. Secretary, last year's VA budget, which was not under your watch, last year's VA budget request took a great amount of risk with some of the assumptions it made. VA assumed it had sufficient carryover balances to avoid requesting a second bite for veterans' medical care, yet later told Congress that it had a $12 billion shortfall in those accounts, an amount subsequently revised to $6 billion. VA also told Congress that it would exhaust its benefits funding before the end of the fiscal year, prompting us to pass an emergency supplemental. Only afterwards did we learn that VA didn't actually utilize any of that supplemental funding. After the events of last year, the appetite for continued bailouts in Congress is extremely low. Mr. Secretary, how much risk is VA assuming with with this budget, and how confident are you that the data and assumptions underlying the request are sound?
Mr. Chairman, I think that was one of the biggest issues that came up consistently in my confirmation hearings with the, the information that was given, taken back, moved forward. As we've all come to not rehash the entire episode altogether, there was assumptions made and also hirings and others that took funds, and there was a rapid acceleration that, especially in the VBA side, that took that money down. What we're doing and what I have told our budget folks, and I've also told each of our business lines, is that they're to work within the numbers that we have. They're to look ahead and make sure that there's nothing in the underlying assumptions for our carryovers and the funds have. I ask this question almost weekly and making sure that we're at, because I will not come up here in a situation in which we've overspent or at least perceived overspent. That was the problem that I think, again, not having a part of it last year, that was the part that bothered me the most, was their numbers were not adding up when they came up here, and then after even the OIG report and other reports came out, it just was frankly to some mismanagement in how we were hiring and how we were appropriating money and not keeping up with it. I'm very solid in what I believe our numbers are for this year. I believe that the backing is solid on that as well. My budget people are here as well, and I think they'll agree with that going forward. So I think where we're at right now is where we need to be to make sure that we're spending appropriately and making sure the services are available.
Very good. Mr. Secretary, I know something that's very important to you is veteran suicide, which it is to me and so many other members of this committee on both sides of the aisle. VA has numerous suicide prevention initiatives, and yet we still see elevated suicide rates among veterans relative to their civilian counterparts. Can you discuss how the VA is approaching suicide prevention, and under your leadership, what current initiatives you believe are working to reverse these negative trends?
Chairman, this is the one that really literally keeps me up at night if I think about this. And when I get the reports coming in from the field, especially when we have had death by suicide occurring on our own campuses, I get those notifications immediately. And then we have, what has happened since 2008 is a number that's not really changed. 2008, 17 to 22 veterans taking their own life. The issue that I have is we're spending approximately in the budget $588 million for prevention, what is called prevention, but yet we're still not seeing anything different. So what I'm looking at is a fresh new approach. We're going to look at how and of those numbers, 17 to 20 veterans, depending on the numbers you use, half of them have not had contact with the VA. They've not been in our system, in other words. So things like the Fox Grant program, which reaches out to organizations, which I encourage to be renewed this time. 95 organizations have been a part of that, and they're reaching out and helping veterans who are not necessarily enrolled in our VA system. They're bringing them in. I have also been reaching out to other organizations, going to different places, nonprofits and others, to say, how can we work together? Because at this point, I think the monies that you're appropriating, the money that we're trying to spend, goes to one thing, and is that can we help a veteran not get to the point where they feel like they have to take their own life. But for me, it's just a complete relook at how we're doing it. We can't keep doing the same things the same way and expect different results. We've got to make sure that we're doing it differently.